And with that, we welcome you into this edition of lcpioneers.com Live. I am Ryan Goff. We appreciate you joining us as we have a new show. Every week, we get the opportunity to talk to student athletes, coaches, a lot of different folks from throughout the Lewis and Clark community about what's going on in the world of Lewis and Clark athletics. With everyone off campus doing remote learning, it's a really nice opportunity for us to get a chance to connect with you and bring in different folks. We are excited to bring in a student athlete for the first time on our show. We had our first edition yesterday with head coach of cross country Matthew Barreau, and today we are bringing in Lewis and Clark sophomore. She is from Portland, International Affairs major and Middle East and North African Studies minor. Ihsaan Mohamed is here. She is a member of the Lewis and Clark women's golf team, and she was a big part of the coronavirus student edition of the PioLog, which was a really neat edition of the paper. I've talked to certainly a dozen people so far who have referenced the great work that the students did in that specific edition of the PioLog, which you can find online, piolog.com. They printed it out as a PDF because by the time it was on campus, March 20th, we didn't have a lot of people who were necessarily going to be staying on campus. So they did a great job making that accessible. So we're looking forward to talking to her about those pieces. She hosted a neat event on campus as well. And it's her first year with the golf program. So we get a chance to talk to her about that as well. We do want you to join us online at lcpioneers.com. For what it's worth, I'm Ryan Goff. I'm the play-by-play voice and director of athletic communications for Lewis and Clark Athletics. And if you're not familiar with Lewis and Clark, we are a Division III school based out of Portland, Oregon, and we compete in the Northwest Conference against other teams from Oregon and Washington. We invite you to connect with us, LC Pioneers. Our handles on Twitter and Instagram, as well as through email. You can reach us sports@lclark.edu. We are watching the comments on our Facebook feed too. So if you do have a question for Ihsaan or myself, we'd love to be able to answer that for you as well. Right now, if you go to lcpioneers.com, you have a chance to read the latest about what's going on in the world of Lewis and Clark athletics. Now, the spring sports are done, and we'll talk to San about that as a spring sport athlete. She's actually a two-season athlete with fall, but spring is the primary season for golf. It was cut short. They did get one tournament under their belt, but right now, if you go to our website, Entrepreneurship, Leadership, and Innovation minor is now been approved by the faculty. You can read more about how that's going to help our students across the Lewis and Clark world get a chance to even further engage with the world of entrepreneurship because that was something that we, priding ourselves on opportunities for students through our Winterim program, also through the Bates Center for Entrepreneurship and Leadership. These are opportunities that students at Lewis and Clark get that definitely make a difference. And so excited to further what we're doing in that world as well. Also, there's a letter from interim director of athletics and physical education, Mark Petrock, because he was able to address some of the things that are going on in regards to coronavirus on campus and help us kind of keep you up to date on the latest things that are going on in that world as well. Do also want to bring your attention to yesterday, baseball was able to post up that Jordan Gonzalez was the recipient of a Goldwater Scholar. He was named a Goldwater Scholar, I should say, and that is something that's pretty unique in the world of the Northwest Conference. The Goldwater Scholarship, as far as we understand it, considered the most prestigious undergraduate scholarship in the world of natural sciences, mathematics, and engineering. So that was news that happened just yesterday, and pretty cool to see that. I tried to show it to you on the Facebook there, but wasn't logged in. So you can go there yourself. Their handle LC Pios BB, and you can read more about Jordan getting that honor as well. So that's some of the things that are going on in the world of Lewis and Clark athletics on our website, lcpioneers.com. But now we have a chance to talk to our guests, which is the big thing we want to do on lcpioneers.com live Tuesday through Friday at 11:30. And so with that, we welcome in our guest, Ihsaan Mohamed, who is class of 22. She's in her sophomore season, first year as a student athlete. And we're hoping, Ihsaan, that we got some of our audio issues corrected. If not, I'm going to do the best I can to share with everybody through my microphone. But we appreciate you joining us from Portland. How have things been going for you ever since classes moved remotely and you went home?
it's kind of hard to have structure around your day when all your classes are online. But I've been trying to get a daily routine going, and I think for the past 2 days I've been sort of successful. Yeah,
I think that's pretty cool. I mean, you guys have to adapt and make the change. As honestly, we've had to too. It's been interesting, even being a staff member and trying to find out how to do the best we can in switching to a whole new world as well. So, um, I can't tell you. I hope you've heard how many people are raving about the PioLog coronavirus edition, the work that you put in to get that out so that people could read it. Curious if you could kind of walk us through, almost compare and contrast, the way that that edition came together and how you were able to inform everybody about how it was affecting the Lewis and Clark College campus.
yeah. So usually for the PioLog, I'm one of the opinion editors, and what happens is every Monday we have our pitch meetings, and on Thursdays are when all the articles are due. So the first Thursday or the second Thursday of March was when all of our articles came in for what was supposed to be a regular issue. Um, However, that March 12th, that day was the day that everything was kind of looking like classes were going to go online. Everyone was freaking out. We knew that at that point, the pandemic was like becoming a pandemic. And so that Thursday, when all of our writers had turned in their regular articles, whether it was about the arts or politics or anything, we had an emergency editors meeting. And that's when the head editors, the editor in chief, Hannah Merzbach, and the managing editor, Mia Eichel, decided and proposed the idea of having a coronavirus issue because now we saw like so many symposiums being canceled, seasons. We knew that things were going to change and they were going to change very quickly. And so we wanted to be a part of recording history. We wanted to make sure that LC students were going to stay informed. And so literally that night, we came up with a list of things that we wanted to cover, and we kind of split it amongst ourselves, so amongst the editors, and then reached out to our writers and told them that all of their articles were still going to be published online, but if it didn't have to do with coronavirus, then it was just going to be published online and not in the actual physical copy of the issue. And then we had about 4 days to work on our articles. I ended up writing 3 articles. I wrote one about the graduation that was being canceled, or like the official graduation that was being canceled. I wrote one about international students, and I wrote one about the burden of student activists in this corona world. And we usually have layout every Wednesday. So the Wednesday after that, we had layout, but unfortunately, a lot of our editors had already gone home. And so it was just like probably around 6 of us doing the work. And some of our editors also did the work remotely. And so we were kind of really busting our butts to get this issue out. But we knew it was really important because this is like, we are living in a really, really crazy time in history right now. And the PioLog is a newspaper that is for the students, by the students. And we wanted to make sure that they knew everything that was going on, not just on campus, but in the world as well.
And as you talked about, a lot of people being affected by what's going on. One of them is your teammate Annika Klunk, because you profiled her in the discussion of how Lewis and Clark is going to give the best experience for graduation to the seniors, which is something I know that the administration is still trying to figure out the best way to go about that. A lot of colleges are going to have that issue. But when you talked to Annika specifically, what were some of the outcomes that you got from her, some of her biggest concerns?
Yeah, so I think Annika, like a lot of the seniors, was just really heartbroken about the fact that they had worked so hard for 4 years, and it seemed like their moment to celebrate those 4 years with their family and friends was now gone. I think it was also particularly heartbreaking because for her because Annika is a senior on the golf team, and she's the only senior on the golf team, which meant we were all really excited to celebrate with her as well. But she had wanted to be a college athlete for really since her childhood. And so this was not just like 4 years of hard work in economics and German, which she's also in the middle of writing her thesis. But it was also 4 years of hard work in golf. And so she was so excited to have that moment of celebration. But also she was like very like understanding, which I think a lot of the seniors are too, because she was talking about how she understood there's obviously no way that the school can hold a large commencement anymore because that would put so many people at risk, including her own family members, her grandparents who wanted to come and celebrate with her. So I think she was understanding and grateful for what she had, but still like really heartbroken over the fact that now she couldn't like celebrate with her friends and her family after 4 years of grinding.
No, that's definitely a change. And I know that, when you get to the graduation time too, I mean, this is something that impacts the families because they have seen you through that entire time too. Ihsaan Mohamed joining us on lcpioneers.com live, our new show that we're going to be doing daily to keep you in touch with our student athletes, coaches, some of the Lewis and Clark community. We're going to have voices on the show, not only student athletes like Ihsaan is, also coaches like we had Coach Burrow yesterday, but on Friday, alumni. We have Cassie Comtani, who was a Lewis and Clark swimmer. She'll be joining us on Friday talking about her journey into law school. And I'm curious, too, as I looked into what your plans are, what are your hopes as you move into your upperclassmen years and toward graduation? Is even something like law school in your future?
I do see law school in my future. Actually, when I first came to Lewis and Clark, I was an ENDS major because I thought I wanted to go into environmental law. But spring semester of my freshman year, I decided I was more interested in international law, which is why I switched to international affairs. But I'm gonna probably start studying for the LSAT next year, and then I really want to work internationally. So whether that means like working in the United Nations or working in other countries, I don't quite know that yet, like what I want to do specifically. But I do know that I'm gonna
Enjoyed and have an opportunity to compete at the collegiate level in women's golf. What was that first year like for you?
um, it was it's been a really 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 wonderful journey. I love my teammates. I love them all. They're very very supportive. It's a really positive community. Um, Wonderful time. I only played for the preseason and a tournament, but honestly, um, it's been a pretty seamless journey. I think what I really, really love about golf and college golf specifically is like how much it motivates me not just to do my best, not just on the course, but like in academics as well. Um, and yeah, I just really love it, and I'm really happy I joined this year.
Well, talking to Coach Yen and your teammates, I mean, you've been a spectacular addition to the team. Look forward to you competing next year. Curious.
Sort of like Muslim history, a lot of times is very whitewashed, and so you don't really see the African Muslims, the Black Muslims that have contributed so much to not just Muslim history but also American history. And last year in December, uh, me and other members of the Muslim board, of the Muslim Student Association's board, got the opportunity. We actually applied for a SOB grant and we attended this huge, huge convention in Chicago. And we went to a lot of talks, but one of the talks we went to stood out a lot to us, and it was about the contribution of Black Muslims in America, in the United States, and in the formation of the 13 colonies. And it was so, so, so interesting to us. And so we decided that we wanted to hold a panel highlighting significant Black members of our Muslim community, and we invited I think two of the speakers were actually Black Muslims on campus, which was really cool, and the other three were Black Muslims who had either just graduated from college or were already like well into their careers. And we just wanted to highlight the importance of diversity in our community and also give them a platform to share their experiences in the Muslim community and in the American world. And it was a really cool event. I'm really happy we did it. We weren't expecting a lot of people to come, and a lot of people came. So we are really, really happy about that.
Well, I'm really happy that you decided to join us on lcpioneers.com live. We're looking forward to talking to more student athletes. Really appreciate the time, and best of luck with the change in remote studies and being able to stay connected. What's been the best way to stay connected to teammates or even fellow students at Lewis and Clark after everyone did leave campus?
Zoom, FaceTime, social media. We've been talking a lot. We all really miss each other, and Zoom and FaceTime and social media have probably been the three top things that we've been using. Whether honestly it's helping each other with homework or talking about our plans for the future. I know some members of our team are like contemplating what they want to do with their lives next year, what classes they want to take because registration is coming up, and so we're all just helping each other. Yeah.
Well, Ihsaan, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me. Look forward to having you back on campus next fall and being a member of the golf team. And also, I'm going to be watching for your articles more in the Pioneer Log. Is that something you plan to continue?
Yeah. So I'm going to apply to be an editor again next year. And even if I don't get in again, I'm going to keep writing. I love writing a lot. So.
Well, definitely let us know too. Maybe we can do something on lcpioneers.com as well, or some of our Facebook stuff. So yeah, stay in touch. Ihsaan Mohamed joining us on lcpioneers.com live. Appreciate her coming in, and hopefully you have a chance to watch this. It looked like we didn't have as clean of a live stream, but we did record it on the computer. We'll post some of those clips up, not only on Facebook, but also through LC Pioneers on Instagram and on Twitter as well. Invite you to join us as we have some more guests coming up this week. No show tomorrow because of a scheduled thing I have with the conference, so I'm not available. But on Friday, we'll talk to Cassie Komtani. She was the NCAA Woman of the Year nominee for Lewis and Clark in 2019. She graduated in 2019 and is now pursuing her law degree at the Lewis and Clark Law School. So until we can talk to you again tomorrow, invite you to join Lewis and Clark College. That is the handle on Instagram. They are having a Q&A today at 4:30. They've been getting admissions counselors involved, current Lewis and Clark students. It's been a lot of fun to watch. So hope that you can join us for that at 4:30. And until then, we'll hopefully talk to you again soon for more Lewis and Clark information, Lewis and Clark student athletes featured on lcpioneers.com live. Until then, I'm Ryan Goff. Have a great day. Bye. Thanks for having fun with us.
Hi, I'm Nick Lombardi. Something I've learned at Winterim this year is how to communicate a vision.
My biggest takeaway from Winterim is probably the networking. Getting to talk to everybody, connect with people for the future is one of the most valuable things, and I did Winterim last year, came back for more this year.
I think a way in which my liberal arts education has really helped me and my group formulate our ideas is that concept of critical thinking and having many different backgrounds, me being an econ major and my two group mates being chemistry majors. We really get that well-rounded background, well-rounded ideas.
I think overall it's absolutely worth doing. You find yourself not only being more prepared for, say, well, this next semester, on top of being more prepared for life in general.